Hello everyone, good morning. I just wanted to show you my little black book, but it's not little and it's not black. My big brown book, alliterative, isn't it? So is little black, no, big brown book is alliterative, little brown book is not. So the big brown book, I am someone who is inspired by weird things. Sometimes I see a frame and I think, well, what sort of picture should I draw to match the frame? Or I'll see a pair of shoes and I want to match my shirt to the pair of shoes. But everyone does that, but not very many people find a frame and match a picture to it. They usually make the picture first and then find a frame that looks good with it. Well, Anyway, you know that I'm a little bit different. So I have a big brown book, and this was some sort of notebook. Ooh, virgin vinyl, whatever the hell that means. Free range vinyl. So it has little tabs on the side, A, B, C, D, E, and it has two sets of them, I think. Yes, it does. It has two sets of letters. Why it has two sets, I don't know. But maybe this was for accounts payable and the other one was for accounts receivable. I took out all of the boring white pages with lines on them, and I just have the index tab pages. And what I've done is here's the K page. What I've done is what I've done, as you can see, is come up with various capital letters for each of these. I suppose I could have done lowercase letters for the other set, but that's not how my mind thinks. I used to, and I still do, say this: calligraphy is the capital letters, spelling is the lowercase letters. Now I know that that's, not true, but that's how I think. So let's see, how would I make an A differently? How does this pen want me to make an A? Well, it would help if it had ink in it. Why don't I prepare myself a little better? Where's my blue ink? This pen had some sort of weird turquoisey blue ink, which I may not be able to locate right now. Bluish green. There it is. It's right here. So let me fill this up. So, as all of you know, pens tell me what to draw. Pens sometimes tell me what sort of lettering to make. I mean, that's obvious with certain kinds of pens because of their stub nib. You're going to write, Gothic lettering, and with a pointed pen you do copperplate. But that's not always the case. So let's see if I can fix this one. It's a little screwed up there. This pen doesn't have much of a flexibility to it, but it's really sort of fun to push around. And how I push it around is cool. I'm being very self-conscious here, doing this in front of you, because I don't know why, but I am. This pen, which I've been playing with recently, is a firm nib, and it really wants to be really pushed down, So here, this A looks like it's standing proud. Add a serif on the top of that. This pen, this Waterman, has a slight italic nib on it, and it This pen has little red veins in it. Come on, show up. There you go. And I filled it with red ink. And anyway, these letters are not very different from each other, as you can tell, but they're fun. Now I could have done, cursive lettering on the first set and maybe non-cursive on the other set, but that would require too much planning. And that's not what I do. I don't plan very well. That's sort of round and Gothic. That's an abomination. There's a chapter in Deuteronomy about that one. Thou shalt not mix Gothic with, what's the word? With chancery script. That is an abomination unto the Lord. Come on, pen. It's like my pen is pea shy. Oh, I'm making an A. This is a B page. That is like the lamest B that ever was. I had a friend who had a friend. This is actually not an urban legend. This is a true story because I know the friend of a friend as well. I know both of these people in question. And one of them was pea shy. And when they would go out clubbing, they would have to go to the restroom together because the one that was pea shy needed to have the other friend there to do whatever it is that has to be done to make a pea shy person pee. Did I just fill this pen with ink? I thought I filled this pen with ink. No, I must have filled a different pen with ink. No, I filled this one with ink. What is going on here? See, it's pea shy. Yeah, it's working. B. B's are fun letters. You can make them like that. You can make them the Budweiser B. Something like that. I'm getting off topic here. But one of the things I like about a book like this is it inspired me to fill it in with something. Now I could have drawn an apple under the A one and a banana under the B one and a cranberry under the C one and made a little book of fruit. But I did not. I just made lettering. And it's kind of neat. So I imagine you have a big brown book at home. This might have been a phone book, but why would they have two sets of letters? I'm not sure about that. Now it could be that I had two books that were identical, and since I took out all the pages, I could have just taken out the tabs from the other book, put it in here, and double them up. I'm asking my brain to remember something that happened in the past. And my way of retrieval of information is not all that great because I file things that happened in the past in one big bucket. And my traumatic day at track thinking back to that, my traumatic day at track in high school is in the same bucket as the day I won a sailboat race. And, even though they happened, I think, many years apart, I sometimes don't even remember whether something happened before something else. I know the fall of Rome happened before my track event, but fine-tuning it more than that is not a strong suit of mine. C's, this is the C page. You can start a C like this, and you make a C by adding more fancier C. You just add more curls. And I hate C's. I hate letters that only have one direction of motion. And I often will say, C's, when they're fancy, they just look like a pubic hair run amok. I told that to one of my neighbors here. We were doing calligraphy play, and she said my capital C did not look like her pubic hair. But perhaps my pubic hair does not run amok. Except she said it in a much more cute way, with her French accent. Anyway, it just, I like them to have, and there's a way to make a C where you do something like this, where you have a little point. And there's another way of doing a C that I saw that has this reverse curve in it that's quite lovely. But C's are one of my least favorite letters. Let's try this one. This is that. There we go. How would I make? Come on, paper. I think this paper doesn't like me. One C is uglier than the next. It's a weird paper. As you can see, it sort of rips and tears. It's not as bad as shopping bag material, but there's something about it that's not working for me. Well, anyway, I just wanted to show you this book more than anything. I wasn't trying to talk to you about traumatic days in track, or pubic hair run amok, or things like that. I was just trying to show you what one can do with a book that really has no value anymore. This might have been a phone book again, and no one needs a phone book anymore. You just tell your phone to dial someone, and they dial it. Look at those Q's. S's, I decided to throw a bunch of dollar signs in there as well. J's are fun. I's I don't like. Why did this one go so bad? G's. Anyway, it's a fun little way of, I don't know if you saw because I wasn't opening the book big enough, but anyway, it's a fun way to play with your pens, and to have your pens, you see the differences immediately when you're sort of doing something like this. Because you don't have to write a real word, you just have to pick one letter only. So I'll close my big brown book and get to work. Put my ink away. My ink tends to evaporate and turn into sludge. This is my new favorite for the day, and Aujourd'hui, it is not dimanche, lundi, what is it today? I think it's Thursday. Jeudi. Is that Thursday? Vendredi, samedi, yeah. Jeudi. The J. I don't know what the date is though, so this may not be set correctly. To set it correctly, you just rotate the number part on this 7-sided pen. Ta-da! Au revoir.